Welcome back to episode 2 of the Jake Ellenbogen Show. I am Jake Ellenbogen, and man, it's the next day. And you know what? I'm not trying to repeat the same thing over and over again. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to talk about the same thing. I will say this: if you like this, be sure to rate it wherever you're watching or listening to this podcast, not watching. You know, almost 100 downloads on the first episode. Really appreciate it, guys. Actually, I think it's over 100 downloads. But anyway, this is the second episode. Wow. I am so... I just cannot believe how quickly a team that was known for being so bad for so long, and their fans knowing them for being so diehard and so loyal and appreciative. I mean, they are showing their true colors, man. I mean, holy shit. You got people on social saying they're happy Tyler Higbee tore his ACL because of things he said before he was drafted by the Rams. You got people saying he's happy he tore his ACL because he's on the Rams. I mean, am I living in an alternate timeline where the Rams actually won? Like, did the Lions lose? Because the fans act like they lost. And they keep talking about Sam Laporta and how, well, there was a hit on Sam Laporta. Not the same. Not the same. Oh, you can go low. Yeah, okay, you can go low. Maybe don't use your helmet as a weapon. Tyler Higbee might never play in the NFL again. Now, he likely will, but there's a chance he decides, you know what? Screw it. I'm not coming back. That's way too much work. I mean, Kirby Joseph, the guy who tore his ACL, and TJ Hawkinson's in, a month time, came out and said he didn't mean harm and apologized on Instagram. Yeah, okay. Man, it's like I'm over the game, but I'm not over the fans. I don't like my co-host getting death threats. I posted, I just said this in the last episode, but I still literally cannot believe it. The funny thing about haters is that they'll say rent-free when you respond to them. But if you are one of those people like me, and hate to break it to you folks, this is just how I am, nothing personal, I don't really interact with a lot of people on Twitter. I tweet what I want. I tweet what I want to say. If you're really important to me or you have something to say, then I'm probably going to respond to one of your tweets. Sometimes, occasionally, something will get under my skin and I'll respond to it. But for the most part, I tweet and you reply or you retweet or you quote tweet. But I don't go out of my way, really, to cause problems. So in turn, the person who is hating on me in my, my comments section, they're living rent-free. Or I'm living rent-free in their head, essentially, right? I mean, I don't know how they could be living rent-free in my head if they're the ones coming onto my page and commenting. If I'm replying to them, then they're not living, it's just, that's the way it is. But, I don't know. It's just, for whatever reason, this fan base is just insufferable. And I said, Detroit was insufferable, as the title. I also had And Blade Runner is not a good movie. I'm sure some of you got a little annoyed by that because odds are a lot of people really like that. But man, I'm blown away, and I don't feel like I've ever, really had this much of an issue with fans. I mean, I've dealt with Niners fans for a while, but man, it's day 3 now, and they don't even understand. I mean, most of the Rams fans, if you're not a Rams fan, you're listening, thank you anyway. But most Rams fans were rooting for this Lions turnaround, and if the Rams lost, fair and square, then, they were going to accept the loss of grace and move on and root for Goff and root for the Lions like they have been. I know a lot of people that were excited to root for Goff that are now rooting for Baker Mayfield. I don't know, man. I'm just blown away. I'm really just truly blown away by how awful this fan base has truly been. Now, it's not all of them, but, and that's the thing, you know, the nice ones are coming up and saying, don't clump us in, and it's not all of us. Yeah, but it's a lot of you. It's a lot of you. You're booing a wife of a player. You're booing kids of a player. You know, you're saying you're happy Stafford got hurt. You're happy Tyler Higbee's out for the year, or, well, he tore his ACL. You know, you're rooting for Kirby to tear other tight ends ACLs. I don't know. I mean, the bottom line is, I'll tell you this right now. I've never had an issue. Detroit Tigers, I'm a Yankee fan. They beat us, I think, once in the playoffs. Never really had an issue with the Tigers. Never had an issue with the Lions. Never had an issue with the Pistons, but I hope all of them lose for eternity. Like, I genuinely hate that. I hate that fan base. I'm not going to get over it. You know, and here's the thing. I'm not going to get over it, but it's not because of, say, I don't know, the loss. No. See, like, they act like the Rams fans that are upset that they lost. The Rams fans are upset because it's the same official that refereed 2 other games in close games down to the wire in which he screwed them in. The Seahawks game, he's also from Seattle, and the Steelers game this year. And then the NFL let that guy officiate this game. And a lot of Rams fans knew, even though they were on the Lions side and they were screwed in Dallas, they knew that call was somehow, some way going to have some sort of influence on how they, you know, officiated the game against the Rams. I think we all knew that, right? We're not crazy. We all knew that. But I don't know, man. I'll also say this. You cried for 2 weeks. You're still crying about the Dallas Cowboys call. Okay? They're out of the playoffs. You're still crying. You cried for 2 weeks and you can't let Rams fans vent for 24 hours. You didn't give them that opportunity. You couldn't let them vent for an hour. I mean, I didn't think I'd still be talking about this. But still, the death threats continue. I mean, some motherfucker literally said that he hopes that my mom gets sexually assaulted so I have something else to think about. And you can say, oh, that's just a troll on the internet. No. That's somebody that's a waste of atoms in the universe. Their existence doesn't matter. If you go to that length, no. That's trash. And you put that on the internet because you hide behind your little fucking avatar and your screen name because you're a spineless bitch and you would never say that to any of us in person to our face. I can tell you that right fucking now. So yeah, I do have an issue with it. Are you mad, bro? Yeah, I'm fucking mad. I don't like disrespect. I definitely don't like it towards my friends and my family. I don't like that one of my best friends is dealing with it, my co-host. I don't like that my other friend, Blaine, he's dealing with it. Poor Blaine. You know, Blaine's trying to do his job. You know, all he's trying to do is just create some Rams content after a brutal loss and trying to get the fan base psyched up. Like we all are, right? And he drops just some tweet, you know, like, hey, this is who I'm looking at in free agency, and this is the draft, and this is the game plan or whatever. And people are just under his post telling him to kill himself. I mean, are you kidding me? And the thing is, it's so easy to say, oh, you know, handle haters, you know, better than this. You know, and I talked about that last episode. I said, you know, I've learned to get better with it, but it's still not an easy thing to get better at. And you can't assume that everyone is going to handle it the same way. So I've been really appalled by their behavior. Like really disgusting, man. And it doesn't stop. It does not stop. So I just, good God, man. Good God. it's pretty brutal. It really is. To see this much hate, it's sad. I was rooting for this fan base, not even really the Lions as much as their fans, because they showed love during the Rams Super Bowl run, but nah, fuck them. And again, I have Lions fans that I'm friends with, no issue with them. But unfortunately, I can't really root for their teams now. I could be happy for them, but I can't root for them. So, I will say that I've never seen a more, because while they're hateful, they're also delusional as fuck. I mean, think about this. They have an explanation for everything. If you don't believe me, go on Twitter for just 5 minutes and you'll see it. It's not just, oh, Higbee tore his ACL. You're not going to, I'm sorry. I hope he gets better. No. It's, oh, well, they were going after Sam Laporta. It's not, oh, yeah, we got some calls that favored us at the end. Sometimes that happens, but, good luck next year or whatever. Nope. It's, oh, well, they screwed us. How the fuck did they screw you and you won by 1 point? Explain that to me. You didn't do anything. You did jack shit besides get a lucky 54-yarder from a guy who hasn't hit 44% of those. But anyway, that's the frustrating thing is when that's how you know. I tweeted something out, and I mean, it just really is how I feel. And I want to move on from this, but I know this week they're just not going to let me. I've tried. I stopped talking for like a while. And it just, for the love of God, man. For the love of God. But anyway, I have people saying that I shouldn't have a platform. Oh boy, I love those people. Oh, why did they give you a platform? Because bitch, I fucking earned it. That's why. Why did they give you a platform? All right. So while you're, my age essentially, you're a little bit younger than me, and you're sitting there behind an avatar, and you have a screen name, and you're telling people to kill themselves, and you think it's funny, and you're being a troll and all that, while you work at your shitty job and live your shitty life. People like myself and a lot of others in the creative space, when people are like, where the hell did this random person come from? But they don't say it for people on TV that actually do a bad job. But no, people like random like me that come out of nowhere, we work our ass off. You might have just tuned into our journey in the middle of it. But I mean, if you weren't around from the beginning, then you don't know. I mean, essentially, I was working night and day, and, I was working 2 jobs and trying to build my brand. And then all of a sudden, I get new job, and oh man, I went through it. Social life was almost non-existent. I had a lot of people asking me to go out, like, hey, go to the bar, do this, do that. No, canceling. I'm not doing it because I'm going to work my ass off, and I'm going to get to the point where, I'm set. And so there's a lot of sacrifices here. I showed up late to a wedding because I was interviewing somebody. Just a lot of different things. And, when you're sick, if you're in my space, you don't really have a sick day. I mean, you guys know, because I know most of you that are listening to this, but you follow me on YouTube, you subscribe to me. So you remember when I had the flu and I was still ripping through that thing, because that's what I do. I mean, that's who I am. I don't know any other way. My parents didn't raise me to be no bitch. So, that's that. But it's just funny when people are like, bro, you don't deserve a platform. Bro, I fucking earned the platform. I worked my ass off doing commercial trucking and tolling, data entry, like dealing with 100,000 a day, talking about trucks and their fucking license plate and transponder numbers. All the while knowing full well when I get out of that 8 to 4:30, 8 to 5, I have to go work at a grocery store from 6 to midnight. And then after that, I have to go and get carts that everyone just kind of left out in the parking lot all over the place. So I'd work off the clock for about an hour and a half, Maybe sometimes I get home an hour. So say I'd get home maybe around 1:30. Then I get home at 1:30 and I would work my ass off doing downtown Rams and all that. And essentially I'd be writing articles and watching film and, reading up on shit. And then the sun would come up and I hadn't slept. And, I would go, sometimes I go to work without any sleep. Sometimes I'd get 4 hours, but I really haven't slept much, over the last 7 years of doing content. So yeah, it is funny how they just assume. Like, who the fuck gave you a platform? Bitch, I fucking earned the platform. Just like you guys have. You earned whatever you got. People earn, believe it or not. Not everything is given. I'm not a Nepo baby. And I don't even believe in that. Because I think a lot of those people, yeah, there's a few, the trust fund kids that just have everything given to them and don't work a day in their life, whatever. But that's not the norm. That's just that's a separate thing. No, and this, I don't want this podcast just be about me saying, I'm awesome. Worship me. That's not what this is about. It's basically about just what's going on. You guys are interested. That it's extra content. Some of you, I got to tell you, I was really surprised. I didn't think this was my best work, the first episode. And you guys were like, wow, that was awesome, man. Like, it was really cool. And it's interesting hearing you cuss like that. And I'm like, yeah. Because here's the thing. If you hear me on this is me. No bullshit. I'm going to be 100% me. Now, I'm not going to get into politics or anything like that. That's the one rule about this. And I'm not going to get into, any sexual themes or anything, even though I explained earlier. But yeah, for the most part, you are going to get a full glimpse into what I'm thinking. And it's unfucking filtered. It says unfiltered. I just figured I'd emphasize that. But, it's got the explicit content thing, so people know. And this isn't for everybody, and I'm aware of that, I'm totally aware of that. Totally aware of that. If this isn't for you, I appreciate you giving it a shot. But if this is for you, then buckle up, because you're going to get a lot of fucking episodes. That's what's going to happen. So, yeah, man, just, really excited for this off season. I feel like, the team that I cover and the team I love was cheated, but that's, is what it is. I'm trying to move on. Meanwhile, I'll post a movie review tonight after I watch some movie. I don't know what it'll be. And I'll have Detroit Lions fans in my mentions like they're 49er fans. They live in their own delusional fantasy world. Not all of them, but the majority. You say this, they say this. They always have a comeback for everything. The refs hate them, but the refs are a big reason why they won that game at the end. You guys listen to Mike Florio, Chris Sims, Chris Long, Rich Eisen. They all brought up that final play. And actually, Florio and Chris Sims both brought up multiple plays. It wasn't just the final play. But anyway, I got to move on because I have to be a professional. They were telling me that, even though they're acting like assholes, but is what it is. So let's move on. I got to talk about something. I am a big metalcore fan, rock fan, pop punk. Those are my music interests, okay? Not everybody's going to be into that. It is what it is. My co-host Alexis just scared the shit out of me because she commented on... She tweeted something out or quote tweeted something out about Sleep Token. If you guys have never checked out Sleep Token, very interesting band. Unlike anything you've probably ever heard. They're like, I'm going to make this as basic as possible to explain, but they're essentially like if you took Imagine Dragons and made the metalcore and actually good, that would be Sleep Token. They use a bunch of different sounds they get. They have kind of that maybe even close to somewhat hip hop sound at times. Not really, but like dance music, but then they're heavy. There's screaming, which by the way, in case you guys didn't know, I could literally do screamo. So if you're into that, I won't be doing it on the show, but yeah, just so you know, I can actually do that. So Sleep Token, the band that I'm absolutely in love with, Take Me Back to Eden was their record of 2023. And I have to say, my favorite record of 2023 was Avenged Sevenfold, Life is But a Dream. But this would be number 2 for me in 2023. I was not expecting a year where I get bands that I absolutely loved all my life, most of my life. Foo Fighters, Paramore, Fall Out Boy. Fall Out Boy was my favorite band for most of my life. I was not expecting to have all of those bands, Blink-182, announce all of those new records, come out with those records, and here I am saying Sleep Token, it had the better record than them. That was surprising. But anyway, they did. I thought it was the second best record of 2023. And Sleep Token has deleted all posts from their Instagram account. And it now says nothing lasts forever. So if we lose Sleep Token, I'm going to be distraught. That last record was a fucking masterpiece. And if you haven't, definitely check it out. But I'll say this. This is the optimist in me, because you guys know I do like to be somewhat optimistic, even though this podcast sounds very dark and probably more pessimistic. I like to be optimistic. So Sleep Token, I'm hoping, this is just one of those, hey, we're going to delete everything on our, delete all the posts on our Instagram and tease the next record. If it ends up being in good news and we get Nothing Lasts Forever, LP, and it comes out in 2025, I'm going to be really happy. But if we just lost Sleep Token for a while, I'm going to be really upset. So, yeah, I don't know, man. It's, I'm hoping that's not the case. I do also want to talk, because, we will be talking music as well. My dad's a musician. My brother's a musician. I don't have any fucking musical talent in my bones, but, that's why I guess I was gifted, I don't know, camera charisma. I don't fucking know what you would call it, but I'm lucky to have that. I'm also lucky to have, I don't have photographic memory, but I have enough where I can process, research information and, I don't know, feel good about what I'm reading and then be able to kind of, spit it back out. As you guys know, a lot of the videos that I make, I don't use scripts. I use bullet points, but early on, I didn't use anything. I just went off the top of my head because I just remembered everything. And I'd have great conversations prepping those videos. My dad, Blaine, Alexis, being able to have those conversations, it allows you, okay, I've already put this out there. It's kind of the same thing where you're trying to learn, dialogue. You're trying to learn your lines for a part in a play or a film or something. And you know how they say, if you say it back in the mirror, however many times, eventually you'll memorize it. Well, that's kind of how I feel when I have those conversations. It's always great because I feel like it's just now, okay, that's now on the clipboard. I can just go back to that later. So that's the cool thing there. But yeah, I have no talent, when it comes to music at all. I played bass for a year and then I gave up on it. I can sing, but it's not very good. And I pretty much can do the metal scream, like the screamo sound. And that's about the only thing I can do. So, and I probably shouldn't do that because honestly, if my voice is what makes me money, if my voice is my daytime and full-time job, then doing things that could cause me to have to get vocal cord surgery seems really fucking stupid. However, I really enjoy doing it, man. There's nothing better than when you're driving around and you got Ice Nine Kills playing, or maybe Avenged Sevenfold, or, you got some heavy fucking band, I Prevail, something like that. And then it gets to that point and you get a chance to just belt out some harsh vocals. I fucking love it. I do it all the time. People probably think I'm insane when they come to a stop sign. They see me just belting out harsh vocals, but doesn't matter. I really enjoy it. Anyway, talking about Avenged Sevenfold, man. Avenged Sevenfold dropped Life is But a Dream last year. Went and saw them at Madison Square Garden. And I am just so blown away. Matt Shadows, in case you guys don't follow the band, the lead singer, he is just so impressive. He actually had to get vocal cord surgery. He was on hiatus and then he came back and he just sounds better than ever. And there's so much confidence. And You can see the band has really grown over the years and their views are different. It's just really cool to see. But Life is But a Dream is just a fucking mind trip. I mean, the first song is called Game Over. So that's the irony, is that the first fucking song is called Game Over. You would think the last song would be called Game Over. No? But no, it's the first song. So the first song is called Game Over, and I'm going to get dark with you guys here. Okay. Again, this is no holds barred, but I mean, I've had a lot of, suicidal thoughts in my past, and dealt with really bad depression. And I mean, there was a time, I'm going to be open and honest here, right before I quit my full-time job, my last full-time job doing window shades, call center, which you can imagine how bad that was. I was working from home, and I used to laugh. I would literally tell my friends and my parents, I'm like, if I don't leave this job, I am going to kill myself. Like, I'm going to take my life. It's going to happen. That wasn't fair to them. That wasn't fair to put that emotional burden on them. But I was in such a bad spot, and I knew it, because here's the thing. If you need to know whether or not you can stand your job, work there at the place, and then if they let you work from home and you still hate it to the point where it is almost driving you to a point of madness, that's how you know. Like, that's how you fucking know. Like, if you're working your full-time job from home and you don't have to drive into the office, you can just stay at home and everything in the comfort of your own home. If you're at the point where you can't even do that, you need to quit your job. I mean, there's no doubt about it. But anyway, going back to Avenged Sevenfold, Game Over is about throwing a rope up onto a tree and jumping into the night and essentially hanging yourself. And it's weird how these darker themes, for somebody that has had these dark thoughts, it's almost like therapeutic, like I'm not there anymore. But there's something so beautiful about the way the words are crafted, that I just really enjoy this record. Mattel is the second song on the record, and this is obviously a little different. The thing I fucking love about the song Mattel, which by the way is quite honestly one of my all-time favorite songs. But Mattel has this concept to it. Mattel makes Barbie, of course. Mattel has the craziest lyrics. And by the way, I don't know where Avenged Sevenfold came from with these lyrics. Maybe they were always great and I just never really appreciated them. But I mean, holy shit. You guys really got to check this band out if you haven't. If you're into this, heavier stuff. But yeah, the way it starts off, my vinyl skin provides protection. It holds in place my plastic bones. Cast button, eyes reflect an image. All seems as it should, but there's nobody home. Really what it is about. And I love it because it's, they have this part. Please attend all model citizens, RSVP if we can count you in. Empty as we play pretend. Send our thoughts with you and to your kin. And in case I don't see you again, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. So there's this concept of this song that people are just fake. I mean, it's just like it's a fake world. We live in a Barbie world, essentially. People are so fake. They don't want to tell you to your face. And I love the idea, like the porcelain dolls, calling it Mattel when it's pretty much about Barbie. I mean, this should have been the Barbie theme song, essentially, although it was way too dark. Round head consumed with major nothings, ears made of wax unfit to hear. Day after day, it all plays over. Dedicated loop, same year after year. It's the same thing. This is actually the best part of the song, is that living fain in porcelain and just smart enough to know nothing at all. Pull my string and make me cry. Advertisement, moral scrawl. A semblance of choice when there's no choice at all. Out of stock, the end is nigh. Burn, body, burn. And I know this might be crazy, but I've smelled the plastic daisies and it seems like we found ourselves in hell. I think a lot of this is stuff that we can look to. And how everyone is, a lot of people are fake. The advertisements are fake. I mean, think about it. You go to a restaurant, you see a burger, right? They're advertising a burger. Is that the same burger like what they're showing? No, that picture is not that burger. It's not. So that's the thing, is that it's not the same burger. They advertise something that you're not getting. Then the toys are different. You know, maybe gaming consoles look a little bit different on the box. What is advertised is not what you receive. And that kind of goes to the idea of like fake, you know? But it's also about the band and how it's like they feel like they're in hell because it's nonstop. It's all, oh my God, we love you, you're the best, yada yada yada. And they've just gotten to the point where they feel like they're in hell because it's the same shit, different drink, essentially. Or same shit, different toilet, depending on who you talk to. I like same shit, different drink. But the very elusive line in this, in case you've never seen the movie The Truman Show, which is one of the greatest movies of all time, by the way, and you need to fucking see it if you haven't. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. The Truman Show. That line, I don't want to spoil The Truman Show for you, but it all comes together perfectly. And I just think this is one of the best songs ever made. It's got heavy guitars, drums, the harsh vocals, incredible, the melodic nature of it, especially. And I know this might sound crazy, but I smell the plastic daisies. That point in the song where Matt Shadows is really going off, just really singing with like this high note and everything. And it's kind of like, it's almost peaceful, and the way they do it is done beautifully. But, yeah, man, I think about this song all the time because, man, it's like a semblance of choice when there's no choice at all. I mean, some people might feel that way about society. Yeah, you can say this, you can do that, but reality is, mob culture essentially only allows you to do one thing or the other, or one thing, not the other. So, yeah, I mean, it's man, I'm glad I was able to talk about that because that, again, check the record out. It is so good. So impressed. There's some other songs, obviously. I mean, it's amazing. It from top to bottom, it is so good. And it ends with this nice little piano, just basically this instrumental piano. It's called Life Is But a Dream. But yeah, man, it's just such a good record. It's so good. You got to check it out. Anyway, one last thing. If people don't respect you, okay? If people don't respect you and they want to use you as a tool for their own satisfaction and they're not going to pay you for said tool, or if they're not going to, give you what you're worth or show you that you're worth something, then I implore you to tell them to fuck off without telling them literally, but, show them. Like, fuck right off and go do your thing. Because I'll tell you, 2024, it's going to be a different me this year. Last year, I stepped up and did a lot of different things, but I started the year so sluggish, so fucking sluggish, broke as shit, paying off debt. It was just, and I like overdrafting, and now I'm not doing that. And now I'm in a great spot, financially, emotionally, mentally, all that. But now I feel like since I overcame that, it made me stronger, which I know is corny. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Well, it's fucking true. All right. It's the most truest. It's the truest thing I've ever heard. But this year, having been through what I've been through, having gone, successfully gone through what I've gone through, now I have the foundation built. And now it's just a matter of, hey, there are some things I want to do. I have a lot of goals this year. One of them, it might seem crazy. I want to get to, it might seem crazy. I keep thinking about Mattel. Anyway, it might seem crazy, but we're at 23,000 subscribers. I want to get to 50,000 by the end of the 2024 to 2025 NFL season. I don't think that's impossible, and I'm going to work my fucking ass off to do it. I want to get to 50,000. Another goal, I want to be able to play golf on an actual fucking golf course. I don't want to hold people up. I don't need to be, the PGA Tour master or anything like that. I don't need to be the next Tiger Woods, but I want to get good at golf. So I'm going to be taking lessons this week, so that'll be interesting. And been going, with my father, just going to, the golf simulators. A lot of fun, but I can't golf for shit. So I'm going to figure that out. Just a lot of different goals, but a lot of them are the whole point of setting goals is to kind of keep your attention and focus. And while people say tunnel vision's bad, there are ways where tunnel vision isn't bad because you're keeping your focus on the prize at hand. And ultimately, that's what I want to do. That I have things I want to do, I want to accomplish, and the only way I'm going to do them is if I keep my focus on them. So I'm really excited. I'm going to be doing all sorts of shit. I'm getting back into baseball. I did write about baseball in the past, but I'm going to be getting back into baseball, doing a Yankees podcast with Gary. So I'm really excited about that. The NFC West Roundtable is going to be fun every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. I love those guys. They're great. It's always fun talking ball. We'll be doing it all off season. The draft content, I'm coming at you like I've never, done draft content before. And I don't mean like I've never done it before, but literally like the way I've done it has never been like this. So I'm really excited about that. I'm going to just put a giant fucking heavy emphasis on the draft. Free agency, the Rams actually have money. So for the Rams content, that's going to be fun. But also the NFL content, Cam and I are cooking, this is going to be a huge fucking year. Okay. And I'm not going to let anyone ruin it. Not some bitch ass, Detroit Lions fan that's somehow more upset that they won than than where they were before the win. But no, I appreciate you guys for listening. This has been episode 2 of the Jake Ellenbogen Show, and at this point, I think I'm just going to use this and make this every single day. So, no strings attached, unfiltered as fuck. I like saying that. But yeah, unfiltered content, and I hope you guys enjoy. I'll talk to you guys soon. Later, folks.